Hello everybody, I'm Nick. I'm the creator and founder of Gallivant Perfumes. Gallivant is a fragrance brand with a collection of 7 city-inspired fragrances. Fragrances that are all presented in travel-friendly third bottles, because I'm a big believer that fragrance is something that should be a part of your everyday life. It should be a moment of pleasure and not kept for special occasions. Gallivant to me is really about feet on the ground exploration. It's the joy of walking and wandering, discovering the hidden corners, the uncelebrated. It's not necessarily about the obvious things, and I hope that's reflected in the style of perfumery that I'm doing. I'm trying to make beautiful, really high quality fragrances, but in a way that's very simple and down to earth and unpretentious. So the production process at Gallivant is above all very slow. We really take our time. I don't believe in rushing the creation of a perfume. So on average we spend about 2 years in the development, refining the fragrance, refining the idea, experimenting with materials, but constantly trying it on skin. That's really the only way to develop a fragrance. And then after the 2 years maybe of development, we have a production process that lasts between 9 and 11 months. So it's quite a long, slow road. It's a journey in itself. And like every journey, it brings unexpected pleasures and surprises. And that's part of the fun of creating perfumes. All of the fragrances to me really tell a story on my skin, and I really want you to feel a journey as you wear them. So my latest fragrance is Tokyo, which for me was inspired by the Kodo incense ceremony of Japan, but I wanted to make it playful, so we've really added this interesting wasabi note, which brings a great spiciness to this incense fragrance. I'd also like to tell you about London, my hometown. So London is a fragrance that was really inspired by the Pet Shop Boys song West End Girls, which to me as a Londoner resonates because it's a city of juxtaposition, of east and west, of rich and poor, of ugly and beautiful. So really the fragrance to me is about rain and shine and grit and glam. And I think when you wear a fragrance like London, you'll feel the story. The other fragrance I'd like to mention is Amsterdam, which does not smell of marijuana. Actually, the inspiration of Amsterdam, the fragrance, was this Dutch concept of coziness. They have a word for it, gezellig. And so the fragrance feels perfect in its cozy warmth. It's like a really beautiful, inviting interior. Above all, what's really important to me is to use really beautiful, honest materials, materials that are beautifully blended together. So for example, in my production process, we macerate the oil and the alcohol for a much longer period of time than is normal in the perfume making industry. And that's because I believe I can't rush things, and I like things that feel well-rounded and well-blended. And I hope that when you smell the perfumes, even if you don't know what maceration means, that you'll feel that they feel well finished. So I consider myself very lucky. I fell into perfumery by chance, which I don't know if that would happen again today. Like most industries, things have become more formalized, but I fell into perfumery and I found that I loved the materials and I loved the craft of it. And I really love many of the people in perfumery. It's a very human-centered industry, and that makes it very addictive. Yeah, I think that Gallivant genuinely is a brilliant name for a fragrance brand. I worked for a very famous French house before for many happy years, but no one could ever pronounce the name of the company. So with Gallivant, what I like is that people around the world can say the word, even if they don't necessarily know that it means to go about in pursuit of pleasure. I think people can at least enjoy the word in their own mouth. A lot of people ask me how they should choose a fragrance, and that's one area where I am a little insistent. You must try it on your own skin. Spray the fragrance on your skin, Just let it settle. Don't smell too fast, don't rush, take your time, like you would with a nice glass of wine. And then just listen to it. Listen to how it expresses itself and evolves on your skin, because it should feel like your perfume. So I see some people are a little nervous about wearing fragrance directly on their skin. Maybe they're a little concerned about allergic reactions, and that's understandable. But that doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself of the pleasure of wearing perfume. You can put it on your clothes, you can put it on a scarf, you can wear it in your hair, and that's just as great as wearing it directly on the skin.